A very good morning, class. Welcome back. We are in the chapter number 5, the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. We begin with the history of Buddhism, how Buddhism came into our country and different parts of the world. What were the basic principles or teachings of Buddhism? How was the life structure of Gautam Buddha, Siddhartha, and concluded with Jainism. Jainism was founded by Lord Mahavira. It was divided further into two sects, Digambaras and Shwetambaras. What were the contribution of Mahavira in flourishing the Jainism, and why were the disciples called as Jains? What sort of knowledge he attained, and why did he sacrifice all the worldly comforts, all the luxury of his life? We have seen these. Today, we are going to see the common or similarities between Jainism and Buddhism. What were the common features or common teachings among both Buddhism and Jainism? So, what were the similarities between Buddhism and Jainism? First few that Jainism and Buddhism both came out from a different perspective. They had a common perspective that they wanted to know the purpose for which they are born. Why are they born? This is a big question that every one of us should think upon. Why are we born? Why are we brought to this planet? What is the real purpose of life? What is the real message of life, or what is the real purpose of life? This is the two questions that they had in mind. They did not believe in the rituals, worship and all. They did not preach the religion, but moreover, they came up with some fact of the life. That is, why are we born, and what is the real attainment of goal, or real attainment of life. So today we will see the similarities between both the Buddhism and the Jainism. Both these personalities, either Gautam Buddha or Lord Mahavira, both of them were born in the land of, both of them were born from the land of Bihar only, and they actually preached their Buddhism and Jainism to the different parts of the world, not only India but different parts of the world. Buddhism and Jainism had many common features. The founder of the two religions, Gautam Buddha and Mahavira, were born in the 6th century BC and belonged to the royal family. They belonged to a very rich family and Kshatriya caste. The caste called Kshatriya. In fact, both belonged to royal families. They also came from the same geographical region, that is Bihar. Both Gautam Buddha and Mahavira were disturbed by man's suffering and the meaningless rituals of Hinduism. These were two basic problems. The first thing was they were kept in such a safeguarded part that they were not aware about the worldly discomforts, the sufferings of the people. It is just an accidental experience that they gained, and when they left their home, they were going for some ceremony. When Gautam Buddha or Siddhartha was going for some ceremony, some rituals were there. So he was to inaugurate a function and he was moving out of the home. He saw a dead body. The question came into his mind, how a person can die. The second question that he came is, in the second incident that he met, he saw an old man with a bed structure. So how the person can bend down so much. And then he saw the different discomforts, people crying over different issues. So then he came to know that there are sufferings in this world. Before, earlier to that, he was not aware that sufferings could also be a part of life. So this question actually hit him, and he was asked, or he was determined to know, what are the worldly discomforts that we are faced with, that we come across, and how can we come across these? If there is a discomfort, if there is a challenge in life, how can one come across? How can one get over with it? So in order to find a solution to it, they went on meditation. They meditated for 12 years and came out with the different conclusions that what is the real meaning of life? Why are we born? Or what is the real purpose of life? Is it just to live and enjoy and fulfill the duty and go? So there are certain other aspects that you need to know. They did not believe in the ritualistic forms. They did not believe in the idol worship. Rather, they were the believer of the deeds. That is the karma. Whatever you do, the result will come accordingly. They left their comfortable home at a similar age, 29 to 30. At a very young age, only 29 or 30 years, they left their home with all the worldly comforts they had in their home. In spite of that, they went on for a better search, or they went on for a truth, what is the real meaning of life. And underwent a lot of hardships before attaining enlightenment. Both favored ahimsa or non-violence and respect for all forms of life. Both were the worshippers of ahimsa, that is, they did not believe in the revenge, they did not believe in the killing, but were rather a peace lover, were rather a non-violence acceptor. Their teachings were not centered around abstract ideas or even an existence of God. They did not believe in the philosophy of God, but they believed in the rebirth process. That there is a rebirth can only continue on, or it can only continue if there is a good deed in the present moment. So they were a believer of the deeds. They wanted to establish better codes of conduct so that people could live in peace and harmony. It was not just to do something different or not to go against the religion, but they wanted the things to be very simpler, so that when the poor section of the society could be a part of it, they could even follow it. Both the religions were religious of protest. They were against the caste system and expensive and meaningless rites and rituals. There are many rites and rituals that we tend to perform, be it a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, or Sikh. Every religion spends a lot of unnecessary amount and not just to praise their God, which is never demanded by God, but it's all a catastrophic story that we have built, and we have been spending recklessly onto that, which he was against. Both of them were, Lord Mahavira and Gautam Buddha, were against those principles. So he never wanted those expenditures to be carried out. They led a stress on karma and moksha. They led a stress on, their basic focus was that karma could be attained, moksha could be attained if the karma is good. If the deeds are good, moksha could be attained. These religions were preached in Pali and Prakrit, the language of common people. During that time, the common language which the people, which the subjects followed, was the Pali and Prakrit. It is much easier when you familiarize, when you deal with your subjects in their common language. It is much easy to convince them, much easy to realize the information, convey the information to them. So there were many similarities between both the religions, Buddhism and the Jainism. But the basic principle which relied on, that they were basically the followers of non-violence or ahimsa. They relied on karma and moksha, or the rebirth, the principles of which, or the historical aspect in their teachings. So I'll put a definition or differences with both the teachings, that is Buddhism and Jainism. We go through and note it down in copy. It is the learning part. It's a very important aspect from the examination point of view. I'll send it today itself. You note it down in copy and you can send me back. Thank you, class.